Hello, my name is Emily Crow, and today I will be talking about my napkin and play-doh presentation for the theatrical design class. So to start off this week's process, I started with a bunch of mini sketches. This top is a kind of progression of me trying out different ideas for the nice place or the present place, Elysium Fields type thing. So we have a tree, and from my images, on my mood board, I really liked this art that had these vines all over it. So I kind of kept that, and you'll see in my final choice for this, I kind of kept that. So you see it here and also on this side. And then here's I decided to jump from the outside to the inside for other ideas. So we have some different layouts for chairs and lighting and some couches and tables. And then this would be a draft for the office. So that's what I started off with, is this little, just like, a few sketches here and there. And then I ended up with my 5 final designs. So this is the first one. This is the living room of the Zero's house. Notice how everything has numbers on it. This scene will be colored brightly with each different section or number correlating with the color. So very color book-esque, color by number type thing, but with bright colors. This next one is going to be the office that they work in. This office will appear twice. The first time with the scene with Daisy and Mr. Zero, this will be colored like you see here with the numbers. You have the 2 desks and then the chairs with one back wall, not too big of a wall. That being said, this will be colored in the scene with Daisy and Mr. Zero, and the same set will be seen again, but in black and white in the final scene when he's in the afterlife, but once again going back to his roots in the office and counting numbers. After that, we have the judges block. At this point, with my concept of it being a color by number that gets distorted by society, we will have things that have more an abstract pattern to them. So if you see, like on this wall here where the jury would stand behind, we have a bunch of squiggles and stuff that separates the areas. So this is also going to be colored, but it's going to be things that aren't typically the color. So whereas we might have the judge stand to be brown, it might be like neon pink or something along those lines. It's going to be colored incorrectly at points because the Mr. Zero has broken society's rules. So that is that image. From there we get to move on to the graveyard. Now, from here on in the set, it is black and white, so we don't have those colors or those numbers as much because society isn't dictating those things for us. But it does look like an empty coloring book. So we have a few tombstones. We also have this hill type shape that will be put on the stage. This way, it's an easy way for Mr. Zero to come out of his grave by using this hill. I used a similar hill when we were putting on the production of Wizard of Oz. We used that for, I believe it was Munchkin Land. We used a hill like this. It gives different levels and also easy peekaboo entrance right there. My final sketch is the one that you'll see a lot of during this video, is the Elysium or the nice place, in which I've decided to do that art that I kind of talked about earlier, and then also a tree. The tree will have flowers on it, and so will all of the vines here. Something that is a little bit different in this sketch than in my final model that I made is that we have the trees actually going to be back behind this fence area, which you will see a little bit later. But that is the 5th design with that wall and tree and archway. This way I'm hoping to be able to put lighting strips actually in the wall, so that way during the scene where Mr. Zero is actually falling in love with Daisy and exploring that different path, that way he can he starts hearing the music, and there's going to be some color that comes into that scene also. So taking a look at this next part is I'm going to be showing you the Play-Doh set. I used airsoft clay. So we have here my set design. Got to back up a little bit, sorry about that. So it is right here. Currently it is going to be top lit by my phone. In the background, we have that tree. So different angles here. We have that tree and this fence up front, this stone archway. So this would be it. It would look a little bit different. Not the best for you to see, sorry with this camera. But yeah, so that is the pieces. We would have this tree. It's gonna look more abstract, but once again, it's gonna be black and white, lit with kind of a whimsical color book feel, as I said before. So very whimsical, black and white. Same thing with these walls. You're gonna have those stones and then all of the vines with the flowers that will glow during that one mention of the scene. In terms of the set itself, in terms of the background, this is my set design with the difference of the tree is actually going to be moved to the back here. I just hadn't moved it. So yeah, we'll have, the main thing for the set is that archway and stone arch. So we have the two sides here. On either side, we have currently about 17 feet on both sides with a 14-foot arch that way. And then here's the other. It's a little bit hard to see, but we have that tree in the back where I am currently predicting it being 5 foot horizontally and about probably a little over 9 feet vertically, as well as we have 8.5 foot tall arch after the top of the arch. So about 8 foot, since the arch itself is going to be about a half foot. So that is the floor plan for this design for the Elysium area. So yeah, that is basically the process I went through, keeping in mind that the tree, I still haven't fully exactly decided if I want it in front or behind that archway fence portion of it. But otherwise, I've been pretty excited with this idea of this the coloring book idea, because it takes in the idea of the society being an influence over what people are, what is their worth, what is the values that we see around us, and that is incorporated with the numbers, but also with the colors, which is kind of a cool thing for a set designer to include. So yeah, that is basically my napkin and Play-Doh presentation.